Hey everyone, it's Monica Reynolds. We've got about 2 minutes before it starts. Thank you for being on so promptly. I appreciate that. Holly will introduce the call in just a minute or two. I just wanted to give you a heads up. You can raise your hand if you wanted to speak to me directly. I'll do some breaks here and there. This call will be about 30 minutes, including Q&A. We're going to go fast. You are going to get a copy of the screenshots, and you're going to get a copy of the call, so just hang on. So I appreciate you being on the call. You also can send me a question in the chat box, and then Holly with the great MAPS Group Coaching Department, she will tell me the questions, and then I'll be happy to answer. So we'll get started here in 1 minute, and Miss Holly will do the introductions, and then we are going to roll and have a powerful call. It's going to be awesome, if I don't say so myself. So any questions you can send through the chat box, and if you want to speak to me directly, you can raise your hand, and Holly will unmute you.
Okay, so it is the top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Hire and Train the Perfect Real Estate Assistant with your MAPS coach, Monica Reynolds. Please note that this webinar is being recorded, and you will automatically receive the webinar recording as well as a link to register for the full program after the webinar. If you have any questions for your coach, you can type them into the questions box located in your webinar taskbar. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. That is fasttrack@kw.com. That's all for me. Monica, take it away.
Great. Okay, so hire and train the perfect real estate assistant. How does somebody do that? I've made a lot of mistakes. I've been in real estate almost 40 years, and I've now uncovered some of the secrets on how to hire the perfect one to help your business. So, Holly, let's advance to the next slide. Let's get this call going. So there's a couple of steps for hiring, and we're going to go through these really quickly. So obviously there's an ad, and the ad has to say a couple of things, that it's a fast-paced real estate office. You're going to get a copy of that coming up, so just hold on. Don't get frustrated trying to write something. And that it's my personal opinion is I'm hiring based on their talent. So the ad goes out there, and you'll see a copy of it. I'm not putting my phone number in. They're going to send me their resume. I take those resumes, and I divide them up into 3 piles. Pile number 1 is what I call Burger King. Nothing wrong with Burger King. I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken getting through college. I get fast food. It's a great place to learn a lot of responsibilities. So I put Burger King means that they do not have any admin experience. Number 2 is that I put in real estate and admin experience. That goes in pile number 2. Pile number 3, then I'm looking at they just have admin experience, and just means that they've been in the office environment, they have admin experience, they have computer experience, etc. So there's 3 different piles that I'm looking at. Now, over the phone interview questions, you might want to write these down. I will call them up before they come into the office, just like in career visioning, and I'm going to ask them a few key questions. And I say, gosh, Sarah, did I catch you at a good time? It's Monica Reynolds with Keller Williams. I've got a couple of questions I wanted to ask you. Thank you for sending me the resume. And did I catch you at a good time? They say yes, or if they say no, I go, great, can I call you back? I am looking for 2 things. I want them to speak with a clear voice that I can understand. They represent me. They have a little energy. They have a great tonality on the call. So with that say, I say, so tell me, I've got your job history here. Tell me a little bit about your job history. I guess I'll start here. Okay, nope, not going to work for me. I need you to think on your feet. I need you to be personable. I need to hear a smile in your voice when you're talking to me. I need to hear some energy. I don't need to hear the hum and the ah and the duh, because your clients, if you're the agents listening to this call, are going to need to have someone who can think on their feet and represent you correctly. Second question I ask is, what are you the best at? What's the one thing you love to do in an office? What are you the best at? Number 3, describe the perfect job for you. Describe the perfect job for you. And then question number 4, do you have any hobbies? What are some of your hobbies? Oh, I've got 2 kids, and so my weekends are pretty much, with them and doing things. I go, great, I get that. Now I found out that they're a mom. Okay, so personality disc test. So watch what happens. If I like the way they answered the questions, I will, well, let me do this. If I don't like the way they answered the questions, I'll say, thank you so much for submitting your resume. We'll be in touch later what the next step is. So then we send them an email a few days later, say the position's been filled. Thank you very much, blah, blah, blah. Being nice, being kind. If I like the way they answered the questions, I'm going to have them do a DISC test. And don't get frustrated. You can get that at monicareynolds.com. They're free. You can get a DISC test there, and I'm going to have them do a KPA. So the DISC test to me is important because I've used one for years. I like them, but I also love the KPA. KPA has 32 different positions. And if you're looking for, an executive assistant, a listing manager, a director of operations, it's all there. So I'll say to them, so Sarah, may I ask you, today is Wednesday. Would you be able to take 2 simple tests, which are, you can't win or lose, they're just personality tests. And one will take about 40 minutes, the other will take about 20 minutes. Would you have time to get those back to me by Friday at 4 o'clock? Now, why do I say a couple of days later and I say 4 o'clock? Because if it's 4:10, 4:06, and they get it back to me, I'm not interested in calling them back. I say the position's been filled. I need them to follow directions. I need them to know. I need to know that they're paying attention. My favorite is when I get an email that says, thank you for calling me. Here's my DISC test. I did it immediately. I love that because now they have the shiny eyes and they're looking to get to work. Okay, next slide, please, Miss Holly. So the office interview, when they come in, I'm just going to give you some tips. First of all, go to Career Visioning, go to Career Visioning, go to Career Visioning. I've been about 3 or 4 times. I'm going to continue to go at least once or twice a year, and I learn something every single time. Now, in my office interview, I'm very judgmental when you first walk through the door. I look at your appearance because you're going to represent my clients. Sorry, bottom line. Totally inappropriate, I'm sure. Number 2, I'm going to look at how you shake my hand. If you hand me a dead limp fish, a handshake, which is all goofy and it's like you have no bones in your body, I'm not interested. I need a firm handshake. I need someone to shake my hand and look me in the eye and smile and say, nice to meet you. If you can't do that and you're shy and you got your head down and you're handing me a dead fish, I can't feel that you're going to be confident to learn the scripts and be powerful on the phone with the clients. And this is a relationship business that we're going into. All right, with the shift. Number 6, after the first interview, write this question down. One of the questions that I ask, and when you go through the training, you'll get all the questions. And I have a very, simple procedure which complements Career Visioning. It's one that I've done for, 40 years. In that first interview now, I've added this question. May I ask you, how many people on your Facebook page? Oh, 1,132. Wow, that's amazing. May I ask you this question also? Now, this is the question that, would you be willing to let your friends and family and people you know on Facebook know where you work, and would you be willing to look for business for us and bring leads in? Oh, no, I can't do that. My mom sells real estate. She gets all the leads. I went, oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate your time. Boom, they're out the door. So I'm not interested in that person. So will you be willing to refer your family and friends to work with our team? Yes. And I go, great. Good answer. So on the second interview, I go through the Career Visioning process and I go through the story. If you don't know about the story, you need to go to Career Visioning. The story tells me if they're victim or they're victorious in their life, in their paths of their career and paths of their life. I'm not looking for victims. I'm not a hospital. Okay. Number 7, test the skills. They say they have computer skills. Tell them to prove it. Here's what I do. They say they can type. I have hired people that can't type. They peck. And in this day and age, you think everybody can type. Not so much. So we have a typing test. You go to typingtest.com. There's a bunch of them online, and you can see how many words per minute they type. I check the references, and I go 3 levels deep, just like career visioning mentions once I talk. And I say, absolutely want references, but please no family and no friends. Has to be from working relationships. And then when I talk to one person, I say, great talking to you. Who else in the department should I talk to that would be able to just share some information with me? So I go 3 levels deep. Next slide, please, Paige. So here's the good news. I talk really fast. You guys are listening fast, and if you want to go back and listen to it, you're going to have the recording. So if you have a team, you want the other team members to meet and greet, and you got to trust some of the judgment of some of the team members when they go, I don't know if I have a good feeling. And it's that feeling sometimes that can be that gut, which is give up thinking, according to Gary Keller, but sometimes that gut has got some good feelings. I go over the job description in about the 3rd interview, and I go through each line what the job is. Does it sound like something you'd like to learn to do? Does it sound like something you could do? Now, make a note, very important. Do not discuss pay under any circumstance until you get to the last interview. You do not discuss pay. You talk about opportunities. You want to sell them on the opportunities. You do not discuss pay. The schedule, I go over the schedule and I say I'm a time monster. I grew up in the military. You know, if I'm supposed to be somewhere at 7 o'clock, I'm there at 6:40. If I'm supposed to be somewhere at 12 o'clock, I'm probably there at 11:30, 11:40. I'm always there ahead of time, and so I appreciate it when you come to work on time or a little early. So I'm just letting you know. This is something that I really, really appreciate. So if there's any challenges, let me know about that. Then I go through the schedule, what's expected each day, and then I go through the offer letter. The offer letter will then absolutely disclose the pay, what the bonuses are, what the opportunities are. I will pay a referral fee if you're licensed, if you bring families and friends in. If you're not licensed, I'll pay you a bonus until you are get your license where you can accept a referral fee. So I'll probably pay you less money in a bonus. I can do a January bonus, February bonus, whatever. You can pay someone a bonus. You just can't tie it to a property if they're not licensed. Okay, next page, please. So in that offer letter, I'm going to have them sign off on all of those things. And so we've agreed to the job description. We've agreed to the schedule. I've told them the days off that I pay for. I've agreed to the pay. I've given them opportunities, how they make money. We're all in agreement. They sign off. It's a beautiful thing. Then we go to the 30, 60, 90-day plan. The SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, repeatable, and timely. So I wrote this for the 30, 60, 90-day program with Career Visioning. And they came to me to write it, and I said, okay, so here's a mistake agents make. They think that somebody wants a drink of water, they're going to stick a fire hose down your throat and go, bam! Okay, you are now a real estate assistant, and in 30 days you are completely trained. Not true, not true. So you want to have things that are measurable, achievable, repeatable, and timely. So next page, please, Holly. So when you look at the 30-day goals, I'm all about the telephones to cash register. And when you join the Perfect Real Estate Assistant class, I go through the scripts. And I'm going to share something with you. You guys are going to go, oh, my gosh. I give them scripts for 21 days of the listing. These sellers are paying 6% of the value of their home. Somebody better be talking to them and creating value. I've got scripts for all of the assistants that you as a great agent could role play with them. When we are going into a shift, Gary Keller is going to be talking a lot about value, value, value. Technology is taking over a lot of the jobs that we're doing. We have to create these relationships. We have to bring value to what we're doing. If you're getting 6% or 5% of the value or 7% in some markets, you need to make sure that you guys are on top of the relationship and creating value. So first they learn the phone. They learn if a potential buyer or seller calls in and how it's handled. They learn if somebody calls and you're not there, how they handle the call. I only want to speak to the agent. They learn how to handle that. The phone is the cash register, and I spend 3 calls on the phone in scripts. Now, the next part is that they need to learn is the database. That's your only asset. You need to be growing that 3 contacts per day per Gary Keller, probably about 100 a month. This is how we're going to protect ourselves against Zillow and all the other people who are going to get in the real estate business and take clients. We need to build these databases up, and the assistant is the keeper of the database. I go through an extensive training on database, like how many people are completes, name, address, phone number, and emails, and growing that database and monitoring. It's just like, how many listings did you take this month? How many appointments did you go on this month? You need to also make sure that you are monitoring your database and growing that, all right? The next one is the listing part. So this is all in the first 30 days. They learn how to process a listing, crop photos, put it up on MLS, call the seller, role play with you. They are giving the showing feedback. So for showing feedback, I don't believe in the internet process or where you go online and you lie and say what a great house it is because the seller's going to be reading it. I prefer, and I train them, two things. Listen to this in the training. That any time someone shows the property, you guys are calling, and that assistant is saying, thank you so much for showing the property. Do you have 2 minutes? We wanted to ask you 3 quick questions. First question is your buyer going to make an offer? Second question, what would it take for your buyer to make an offer? Well, they didn't like this, they didn't like that. Okay, if it's fixable, maybe it's not fixable. Third question is, what do you feel the property will sell for? Then we also pay attention to this part. If that's not a Keller Williams agent, I teach the assistant to build a spreadsheet so that those agents who are not Keller Williams, that maybe there'd be someone for your team, maybe they should just join Keller Williams. Right now, Keller Williams paid out $1 billion, and it took over 25 years to get there. In the next 4 years, with 10% growth, which is easily achievable the way we're growing, is that there will be another $1 billion with a B, another $1 billion given out in profit share, and then 3 years from that, another $1 billion. So in 7 years, there will be $2 billion given out. So everybody should get on board on this deal. And so those are the things that I teach the assistant, to be a profit center, to not be a liability, to help bring in business and help grow your business. Okay, next slide, Ms. Holly. So 60 days, what should this person be doing? Closing files, tracking numbers, sources of business, any kind of a small lead generation system, whether it's expireds or probates, and I talk about those. I go through all of these systems. No one trains more assistants than me in the country. I have absolutely written the books on it. I've written 4 books on assistants. This is the most comprehensive, and we have testimonial and reviews and testimonials. Every single person says biggest value, most information, best systems, and they're basics. So champions are champions because they do the basics, the fundamentals, better than anyone. So my program is very fundamental, very basic, and yet it's duplicatable and scalable, meaning that you can do, whether you're doing 35 transactions, going to 350, going to 1,350, going to 3,000 transactions, everything is duplicatable and scalable. Okay, next page. So let's look at 90 days. What should your assistant be up and doing? All marketing, all listings, all pendings, database, phone and scripts, tracking numbers, goal monitoring, the 15th of the month protocol. I teach them to pay attention to the 15th of the month, and if you're not halfway on goal, then they start giving you all the different protocols of what you need to do to get on track. Imagine that. Now, some of you are going, well, I don't want somebody telling me what to do. Okay, fine. Then you're not going to grow your business at the highest level, because accountability is everything, especially in the shift in the market. I can't recommend, I want to recommend so much that the systems are going to help you build that customer experience, will build that relationship, and this is where you've got to really start to pay attention, because the shift is happening and other people are coming in the market to gobble up the market like Zillow. Okay, next page, please, Ms. Holly. So here's the ad I promised. You should be an organizer, a positive person, a good communicator, both written and verbal, have excellent computer skills, have a good sense of humor, be a fast learner with a quick mind, and be willing to work and hard and smart. Okay, here's the good news. I wrote that ad in the early 80s, late 80s, somewhere in there. Gary Keller took part of that ad and put it in the MREA book, which I was totally pleased about, because he could see that was a great ad. And so use that, break it down. There's great services like Wise Hire if you want to hire someone to go find your assistant for you. Indeed.com. LinkedIn has been a great place where people have found assistance. There's tons of places. Next one, please. Miss Holly. Next slide. Okay. So pass the baton. So on Pass the Baton, this is something I just covered today with a program that's already started. This program starts next Tuesday. And if you're thinking about doing this, you don't have an assistant right now, sign up for the class because you are the assistant. The calls are live. I do live calls. The calls are also recorded in case you have that fabulous listing appointment and you have to miss the call. This Pass the Baton is something that I created many years ago so that the assistant is not calling a listing without understanding the motivation. They're happy, they're sad, they're divorced, there's this illness in the family. What am I stepping into, the assistant says. What's going on? Oh, they got a promotion. They're moving to Chicago. They're so excited. And they're leaving their mom behind who has Alzheimer's. So it's really a difficult situation getting that all set up and figuring all that out. So we need to understand this because we're about relationships now. Okay, loan balance, HOA fee. So as a driver, I would never fill this form out. You couldn't make me fill it out. However, when I put the file down, my assistant says, okay, 5 minutes, and then I can do this in 5 minutes or less. I can answer these questions. Motivation, HOA, listing price, buyer, no, sign, yes. Termite, they have their own. This is the name of the company. Lockbox, yes. Showing instructions. They have a baby. No showings until noon. I can do that in less than 3 minutes probably. And yet the assistant then is prepared. They are prepared to have that conversation. So next slide, please, Ms. Holly. So at the bottom there, you're going to see the DISC test, husband and wife. Now, we can't give the seller a KPA, which I'd love to do, but I can know in the conversation, and I teach the assistants to know when someone speaks very fast and quickly and is short-fused and who the drivers are. Obviously, I'm a double, triple D driver here. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be impatient. I just appear that way apparently all the time. Whatever. I don't care. That's what a driver says, right? High, full of energy. Oh my gosh, the sky is falling. Oh, what a great day. Yes, they are the nicest people in the world. They're like the yellow labs, the golden retrievers out there. There's 40% of the population. Thank goodness 40% are S's. The C's, the analyticals, they're the people that will not move forward unless they have all the facts, figures, and information. And so high C's are really great in my world as far as assistants because they have to cross the T's, dot the I's, and clean up my mess because I'm a D and I just will be a hurricane. Okay, so Pass the Baton is a communication system. So you set the assistant up to build that trust bridge and build that relationship on that listing that's paying you 6% of the value of their home. Next slide, Holly. Okay, so another slide, and you're going to get all these slides, but this is nothing compared to the 450 pages that you're going to get in this program. I guarantee you the value is absolutely in the program. It's $199 a month. It's a 6-month commitment. The first call every month is for the agent. The second and third call of every month is for the assistant. The agents, I teach you how to be a great leader, how to be a great boss, and what's going to happen in the next calls so that you can help the assistant be accountable and get these things put into place. So what is a 3-week honeymoon of communication? So you agents, have you gone and listed the property? You walk out of there and you've got the listing. That seller is saying to his wife, girlfriend, whoever, and they're saying, well, I hope we did the right thing. I think we did the right thing. And yet we said, we don't know the final sales price. We don't know what you're going to net. We don't know the closing date. We don't know your next showing. And we definitely don't know when you should start packing. So we've told you nothing other than we're going to sell your house. But we haven't told you when, how, what, how much, etc., when to pack. So this 3-week honeymoon is where the assistant is calling every single day. There is 4 to 7 communications every single week. Now, don't glaze over on me. This is how you build relationships, and you're setting the stage for repeat and referral business. This is how we build our database of people who are become raving lunatic fans. They're not just a file. They are people, and you understand who they are, and you're building relationships. Okay, next slide, Miss Holly. So week 1 was all of these things, just setting up everything and the signs, etc. And remember, I have scripts for all of these. So the second week, the assistant goes over the MLS disclosures, if you have those, and check for mistakes and links to the website, review any showings, send out links to the top agents and entire database of the new listing, if those are things that you do. Assistant to call every day. Week 3, get ready. Week 3, next slide, please, Holly. The shift. You're sending out a new CMA with a copy of the plan of action. There's 18 things that we do to sell a property, and so listen to my script at a listing. I know, Mr. Seller, the things we do sell 100% of our properties. The only thing that we are testing is the price. Our marketing plan works 100%. And so we send them back the marketing plan, and you'll get a copy of that. You'll get a copy of my pre-list package. You'll get a copy of the buyer package. You'll get a copy of everything. And in that plan of action, we've checked off and we've written done, 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 done with a date on it. So that no seller is ever going to say to me, well, I don't want to get a price reduction because I really don't understand what you've done to sell our property. That doesn't happen in my world. By the 3rd week, they're ready to reduce their price because they know that because of the lack of showings, or we've had lots of showings and no offers, that the only thing we tested was the price. Our marketing works 100%. So, next slide, Miss Holly. So, here's the next launch, okay, December 4th, which is next Tuesday. And it is 1 o'clock Central, which is 11 o'clock. Is that right? Yeah, I guess so. It's 11 o'clock Pacific. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. 11 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock Central, and 2 o'clock Eastern. If you want to sign up today, there is a $100 discount for signing up. If you don't sign up for today, then you won't get the $100 discount. So today we would like you to sign up because the sooner we get you signed up, then we can get you all the information because there's about 25, 30 pages of the first call that we need to get you ready for, and it starts next week. Now, if you can't make that call next week and you're the agent because it's the agent call, don't worry. It's recorded. You can listen to it whenever you can. So you click Perfect Real Estate Assistant 101. If you go to mapscoaching.com, you enter in the discount Web100 to save $100 off. Okay, Miss Holly, next slide. So with that said,
that's the last slide,
ahead.
Monica. That's the last slide.
Sorry. Okay, great. Are there any questions that have come through the chat box?
So let's see, just is this webinar for the agent hiring an assistant or for the assistant themselves?
Okay, so let me go through that again. 25 to 30% of the agents, of the people who join the call are agents who do not have an assistant. You are the assistant. You need to put systems into place, and I go through a comprehensive hiring process on one call. So with that said, it's for agents who do not have an assistant. It is for agents who have an assistant and building a team. The first call every single month is for agents only. The second and third call of every month is for the assistants. So the calls are for agents and assistants. I like the agents to be separate because when I work with the assistants, I don't want them to be intimidated when I'm talking to them and asking questions and finding out stuff because the agent's sitting there looking at them. So first call is for the agents. So these calls are for agents and assistants. The agents, you need to be on that first call every month. I'm going to teach you to be a great leader. I'm going to help you be a great boss so you have great retention. Because hiring the wrong person or not training them correctly and not making an investment in trying to reinvent the wheel all the time yourself, that is a huge, costly mistake. Invest in your assistants. Invest in the systems. Invest in the future because with the shift coming, you've got to build these relationships. And my whole course is about relationships, systems, so that things run smoothly. It is real estate and its people, but I have the systems in place. Okay, next question, Ms. Holly.
And then do you think that a virtual assistant could benefit from this program?
We have a lot of virtual assistants on this program, absolutely, without a doubt. If you're using a virtual assistant to do a lot of these things, this is how they really get the big picture. This is not a onesie, twosie thing. This is the big, big picture. So I would make that investment in your virtual also.
And then I think that that's all.
Okay, everyone. So I talked fast. I know I went through a lot of information. You're going to get a copy of this webinar. You'll get a copy of the slides, so don't freak out. Oh my gosh, I need to take a picture with my camera, and how am I going to get all that information? Here's the good news. Those are only just a few slides. I have 450 pages of information, checklists, scripts, letters, customer service things. I have lead generation from probates to senior citizens to expireds to FSBOs. I have all of those systems. I have systems for your database. Every single thing you could possibly want is covered in that call. So I know that the value is there for you. So make the investment in your assistant. Make the investment in your future. Make the investment for your clients to go to the next level. And if you don't have an assistant, this is absolutely the class for you too. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. I'm Monica at monicareynolds.com. If you need any other information, I'm happy to answer any questions. So it's Monica at monicareynolds.com. Have a great week. I look forward to you signing up. Be on that call Tuesday. I will absolutely help you change your business and go to the next level. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.